you know that every time I go to a studio, the vendors like put up the microphone, and then when they come and stand in front of it, the man's gonna raise it again. It'd be so sporty, like every single thing. So King Ting, like I have actually been using King Ting or King Tings as a hashtag on IG for like a while, because like I say in the song, that's what about King Tings. Everything that you're doing is just about King Tings, because the reason that I am King servant is because I'm servant of the king and also made in the image of the king, which makes me a king. So there's a lot of king that happens all up inside this thing. What I call it kind of that anthemic type of like, this is a full description of what King Servant represents, what he's about, King Tings. Dancehall is probably my favorite genre of music, even though I tend to do more reggae in terms of what I create, but dancehall is, I really love it. So then I kind of just caught, it was the chorus first, and that kind of just started to play in my head. And then I just started writing from there, and it just, I think I wrote it all, the majority of it in one sitting, and then kind of just made tweaks after that. So when Christ walked on the earth, his movement was not, he was in the temple teaching, but he was also in the house having a line. He was also at the wedding, he was also at the fete. Basically, he was at the party, you know what I mean? And the men, to the point where that the religious leaders were like, yo, this man's a beer drunkard, all he's doing is party, right? I'm paraphrasing, obviously. My following Christ is who I am. But that is not to say, well, when that means I gotta go now and focus on, I can only sing in church. And furthermore, church for me is a part of who I am too. It's people. Church is not a building. Church is not even an institution, right? Church is an organism. Church is a group of people who are following this king. Putting all of that into how I operate when it comes to music, I feel like if Christ was doing music, where would he do it? That was what he's doing. So as far as I'm concerned, if Christ would be in the dancehall, King Servant going to be in the dancehall. What dancehall music tends to, I would say, highlight, because I feel like I try to make sure that it's understood. I ain't judging nobody for what they do or what they sing. There's things that I don't like because of how influential music is. I feel like if we got a responsibility to not only highlight what everybody agrees on, these are the negative aspects of culture. You can talk about it, but highlight it in its reality. And now the thing is, I know for some people that may be their reality, and I understand that. But basically, it just brings in my reality with the same music, same energy, the same vibe in terms of musically, but the message is different. And even in this song, it is even opposed, because there is a line in the song where I say, I hate to see some man moving like a demon. All they want to do is take lives and shoot semen. Because that essentially is what a lot of dancehall culture promotes. It's like gun talk, yeah, I can get as many girls as possible and that kind of stuff. And I juxtapose that with, well, King Life, I talking about my wife, you know what I mean? Me and her and Jesus got my life so elevated. That is my vibe. I want to shout out my wife. Real talk, because she is like, I say that she's my biggest supporter, my biggest earthly inspiration. Like, she's just amazing, the way that she supports, the way that she always pushing me to do more, always pushing me to create more, always pushing me to chase after it, you know. I don't take that for granted, because, you know, she could have been different, she could stress me out, but she don't do that. She's let me be the person that's create stress. So big up every time. Beautiful, love you. So I have a couple of other releases that I released earlier in the year that are getting some really good forward on some of these stations, like Big Red. I will big up Big Red loud, because he really is a big supporter, plays the music a lot. I'm not sure how well accepted or how well supported this song will be on mainstream stations, simply because I could see that the disconnect between the messaging could be a bit too far. You play a regular song and a man singing about, you know, how much girls he had, how much men he killed, and then you come and play my song immediately after where I'm saying I hate to see that. But I guess my position there is there not room for positive dancehall? Is there not room for a different messaging? Dancehall in particular has that almost automatically negative connotation, and I don't feel it has to be that, because the music itself doesn't have to be that. So why does the content have to be only that? So how long was I? So I started doing music like probably 15 years ago, or maybe a little more than that, somewhere in our region. And then essentially once my first child was born, obviously, you know, shift focus, and I wasn't really doing anything musically up until last year. When I decided to kind of start up again, I was kind of like, I felt like, man, I'm not sure if I want to use the same name. Do I want to change the name and thing? And then that King Servant came to me like, yo, that's exactly what it is. So you can find me on Instagram at I am King Servant, also on Facebook at I am King Servant. I have a Twitter account. If you choose to follow it, I am sorry, because I really don't post anything to Twitter. Wait, wanna hear your song? I can't hear your song. Check.
King Servant again. Anytime I touch the mic, know it's a King Ting. Lyrics when I drop the up so tall like it a Ming Ting. I don't deal with gunner slackness when I fling ting. What be say them I thought that again a King Ting. Anytime I touch the mic, know it's a King Ting. Lyrics when I drop the up so tall like it a Ming Ting. I don't deal with gunner slackness when I fling ting. What be say them I thought that again.
And you can find it on all platforms: iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, Google Play Music, Amazon Music, anywhere that music is found digitally, you can find it on there.
X-rated, don't make up no stories about the girls that I dated. I already got a wife, I'm so elated. Me and her and Jesus got my life so elevated. And